entrepreneurs are, self-made schizophrenics. You need to be confident in what you're doing while at the same time questioning yourself every step of the way.
One of the things that I love about the finance world is how the terminology is so easy to understand. Just like technology. That's one of the things I love about technology and finance. They make it so simple. So so what I love about what you do actually with your organization is that you actually you use terminology that I can understand, and you make it relatable to what I'm trying to do.
So what's really important when it comes to that very simple terminology in finance is that you get the right advice at the right time. If you are, in heavy consumer debt and you need, debt management, reading about exchange-traded funds and mutual funds or estate planning is out of touch with what your immediate need is. So what we really provide is we try to give you information for what you need at this moment to make your next decision, so as to not overwhelm you. It's something I learned actually from being pregnant. It's amazing because we all thought that pregnancy is a very natural thing, and we all have access to all kinds of information. But when you get pregnant and when you have those appointments on a monthly, weekly, bi-weekly basis with your care provider, it's amazing how that's structured exactly that way. Like, you are given the information you need at that time to make a decision that's in the best interest for you and your baby. And a lot of that stuff you've never heard of. Right. Because it's actually not common knowledge. Right. So a lot of people have been pregnant, so they've gone through that process. But if you haven't, some of it was complete news to me.
When all of my girlfriends that are pregnant, let me tell you, some of the things I'm like, women wouldn't get pregnant if we knew all of these things.
Maybe not. You're right. I know, but it's a lot like that. It's one thing to get all that information from all over the place that's unorganized. But it's another to really get that advice at the right time when you need it.
Yes. Okay, so you're talking about, getting the information that you need right now to help you today. So for somebody watching that sort of has a business idea or thinks that they should be saving to start a business, or should they be taking out a line of credit, or any advice that you have for them?
So there is this article that I read a few years ago called The Big 10. And whenever you have a business idea, one thing that you should really do is you should get 10 people who are unrelated, who are not your immediate supporters. Your family, friends don't count, because they're going to support you no matter how ridiculous they think your idea is. But find 10 total strangers to either give up time or money to validate your concept. So there's a lot of things you can do before you actually take a lot of money on. And because trust me, one thing that isn't true in business, if you will build it and they will come. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, good to know.
It's like the biggest myth out there. It's not just like, if I could just have the right money and the right team to build this product or this website, it would be awesome because it would solve all these problems. No, it just doesn't work that way. You really have to hustle. There's a lot of things you have to do that is actually outside your business model when you start. There's a lot of, sometimes it's all glitz and fame, like here, sitting us on the couch. But sometimes
and I make lots of money doing this, right? No.
But you're doing your 10, right? You're making me give up my time.
It's true.
to get you to the next level. That's kind of where it's important, right? And so that's first validate your product and this is where I really say this advice with a great caution. You go out and you seek out some entrepreneurs who have done it, who have been there before, and you get their advice. But that comes with a big red flag. So be very cautious, because free advice is never cheap. And women tend to be very unsure of themselves. That they will actually go out and ask somebody for advice. And if that person is that much more sure of themselves, and they will just flippantly give them some piece of advice that they will take on as a given, as a fact, whereas they are probably way more familiar with their business model and their business, and the person that they're asking for advice hasn't really thought nearly enough about what the advice that they're saying. So you really have to be careful. A few times in business when I've like really taken someone's advice to heart, it didn't work out well.
Okay, so let's get into our lightning round. So the way that this is going to work is that I'm going to ask you the question, and you're going to say the first thing that comes to mind. Here we go. iPhone or Android?
Android.
I drink my coffee.
With sugar or a dairy-free additive of any sort. Soy milk, almond milk, anything that doesn't have milk in it.
Most people would be surprised to learn I
play Dungeons and Dragons.
I am most proud of
WealthBar.
I am most afraid of.
This will sound wrong, but I'm not afraid of a lot of things. Something happening to my daughter.
The advice I would give my 15-year-old self would be?
Don't give up.
The thing that rocks about working in tech is?
That I get to go on vacation and still continue to work and nobody knows where I am.
The last book I read was?
Pensionize Your Nest Egg.
Oh, that sounds like a good one. The best piece of advice I ever received was?
If you have a problem, make it a procedure and you won't have a problem anymore. It was said by an old insurance salesman, Ben Feldman, out of New York City a long time ago, and it was told to me by someone else, but it's kind of my personal credo.
That's your mantra?
I love it, yep.
Okay. My fave song to rock out to when no one is watching is?
Probably something by Pat Benatar.
Okay. All right.
I'm a hard rock girl.
Down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Woo!
For more words of wisdom from Tay and other rad women, head on over to taratv.com.